Hey guys, I am back with another review, and this will start a line of toy and collectible reviews leading up to the holidays. I've had this guy for a really long time, so here I am for my review of the Jakks Pacific Giant 2014 Godzilla. As for the box here, we can see the same paragraph of story exposition that was seen on the NECA figure, so if you want to know what it says, check out my previous review of it. It also reads, jaw opens and closes, fully posable figure, and tail swings back and forth. Alright, obviously this guy is really big. He stands 2 feet tall, and his tail makes him 3 feet long. Though, don't worry, he's hollow and light. He's actually really easy to pick up. That is, if you're taller than him, and have an average amount of muscle. So don't worry about this thing putting you in the emergency room. In terms of the design, it really gets down the look of Godzilla from the recent movie, for the most part. In other parts, it seems that they were on the right track, but it just didn't work out in the end. First off are the scales, which are accurate in their shape, but are too small. In order for the whole figure to look really like Godzilla from the film, the figure needs bigger scales, especially halfway down the back. I have heard that the scales had to be made of rubber and bendable in order to prevent any damage or sharp plastic edges getting jabbed into people's flesh, but they are pretty soft and safe here, and I just can't help but feel making them bigger would be doable without creating any new hazards. After all, they are created from a safe material anyway that doesn't cause any harm. Also, while the head does look good, I can't help but feel that the alignment of the teeth and the tongue being too reddish prevent it from being more similar to the one seen in the movie. Other than that, the rest of the figure looks great. I definitely see a brighter and more advanced color scheme here than I saw in the NECA figure. It's not too dark, and you can see the brown and gray colors, especially in the chest. I also really like how they handle the arms and feet, and the extremely long tail here. I can also see a good amount of detail and texture on the toy as well. It's not as incredibly detailed as the others, but it has enough to make the skin of the monster look believable. Speaking of which, the tail does come in 2 pieces in its package, and while it can be annoying to assemble everything, it's not nearly as annoying as it was with NECA's version. Supposedly, there is a gimmick in this mode, as it advertises swinging tail action. Though, in the end, it's just a little lever or wedge near the beginning of the tail, and it does swing a little bit, just not that much. Kinda disappointing though, but for something that is big, it's still not the best idea to make the tail move around too fast, or too much. Plus, while the tail does look really good, when it is assembled, it is sadly a bit distracting to see the wedge that allows the gimmick to work, and the gap that appears when you connect the smaller tip to the larger section. I don't know exactly what they could have done to disguise it, but it's still distracting to see these two things in the middle of the tail. It just makes it look kinda odd. Articulation is limited, but then again, that's not why you buy figures such as this in the first place. They are like statues or big set pieces, so expect very basic posability at best. Yet, they included some joints I really was not expecting. These include wrist joints, ankle joints, and the tip of the tail. And, as you would expect, you can move the legs, arms, head, and mouth. In fact, you can rotate the neck, hands, feet, and tip of the tail 360. Sure, you can't get too many poses out of this guy, but you can get a decent amount to try and depict different emotions from him. I also see some openings on his stomach here, which makes it seem as if the toy was meant to have some sound effects in it, but it was cancelled in the end. I think it would have been a better idea to remove these things if no sound was to be included. So after my complaints, while I do certainly think this figure has many problems, it comes around in the end with a great color scheme, good texture and detail, decent articulation, and just the fact that this thing is huge. In terms of recommendation, if you're a Godzilla fan and have room, and I mean a lot of room, pick this guy up for about $40 if you can, but don't go above $70 for this thing. It makes for a great display piece, and if you like monsters in general, or perhaps want to scare the crap out of a friend as a prank, then this could be a decent purchase for you as well. That is my review for the Jakks Pacific Giant 2014 Godzilla, and I will see you all later for some more reviews. Catch you later.